So I want to welcome everybody to our second iLearn class in here of the cruise, which is called The Camera You Always Have With You. In a few minutes, I'm going to know who was here yesterday, and you're going to say I have amazing psychic powers, but it's okay. You see that? My name's Richard. I'm the iLounge manager on board, and I want to show you today in the next 45 minutes or so why the best camera you have is the one you always have with you. If that makes sense. The best camera you have is not the $1,000 camera you have that you take out to take your Christmas card pictures once a year. I will tell you that going back to the iPhone 4S was my first phone I used as a primary camera. Now I keep two phones as my primary cameras, and they have very different reasons. I have my iPhone 7 Plus, and I have my Samsung Galaxy S8. I do have to point out, since this is a Samsung phone, the closest fire locker is right there. So if it were to burst into flames, I'll need someone to go ahead and get that fire extinguisher for me. I do have to point that out. And they each have their pros and cons, but I am a smartphone photographer. I take pictures with my phone. It's very weird. People are like, why do you take pictures with your phone? I take pictures with my phone, and it does some really cool things. So my goal over the next 45 minutes or so is to teach you how to take pictures with your phone, your tablet, anything like that. Because again, the most powerful camera you have is the one you always have with you. Now today's class is a follow-along class. So if you do have your device, you're going to want to go ahead and take it out. It can be an iPhone, it can be an Android, it can be whatever type of device you happen to have. But it's a follow-along class. So I want to let you know, how many of you have ever sailed in Alaska before? I'm going to talk about Alaska. If you've never sailed in Alaska before, you'll get this. You'll understand it. So if you go out to Alaska, what will happen is you'll be sitting, having your coffee and cafe al bacio, and the captain will come on the announcement and go, boom, boom. Attention, attention, ladies and gentlemen. This is Captain from Navagasan Bridge. I wanted to let you know that there are some whales coming up on the port side of the ship. And what do you think people do? They all immediately stop what they're doing, be it guest, be it crew, and they go to the port side of the ship. Now, most of the guests have no clue which side's the port side. So they ask the nearest crew member, L-E-F-T-P-O-R-T. You need to know where the front of the ship is. No, that's the front of the ship, sorry. Well, you need to know where the front of the ship is. So the front of the ship's that way. Remember, entertainment in the front, food in the back. But what happens is people will go outside, they'll see the whale, then they'll try and get into their phone, they'll go tap, 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 doesn't work, code, 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 forgot the code, 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 get out of the app I was in, open the camera, and by the time that's done, where's the whale? The whale is gone. And the whale's not in California, but no, what they do is then they say, attention, attention, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know that the whales have moved to our starboard side. I promise you, the same guest came to me and asked me which side was the starboard side. Yeah, so here's the thing. On all of your phones, there's actually a very quick way to get to the camera. And I think that's an important thing. And this quick way gets you to the camera, and only the camera. Not the previous images you've taken or anything like that. Just the current pictures you are going to take with your camera. Now on iPhones and iPads, it changed recently how you do that. On Android phones, we'll talk about that in a minute, but if you remember iPhones and iPads, up until last year, you used to have a little camera in the bottom right-hand corner. And you would drag that little camera up, and that would get you access to your camera. Well, that is gone now. That is no more, because what they've done is everybody has that fingerprint sensor now. You know the Touch ID sensor that you have on your device? Even if you have a Samsung phone, you have a fingerprint sensor, and as soon as you put your finger down on the fingerprint sensor, it unlocks your phone. So instead, what they've done is instead of, you know how normally you would slide from the left to the right. If you have an iPhone or an iPad, and you slide your finger from the right to the left, it will automatically open up the camera. So let me give you the concept. I'll do it giant on the screen so you can see it. You're going to slide your finger from your right to your left across the screen of your iPhone. If you have an Android phone, the process is slightly different. I will show you with my Android phone. So here's the thing. I can't check everyone's right now, but I do stick around after the class as long as we need to check anything that's acting up, but it should work for most of us. Now I want to talk about Android phones. A lot of us have iPhones, iPads. Anybody have an Android phone? Android phone, Samsung phone. So if you have a Samsung phone, where this same function would be is actually, I can't show you, but it would be on your lock screen. So it would be right here on this lock screen. It won't show up on the big screen. There's a little camera, and you slide it up. And in newer Android phones, if you press the power button twice, that will automatically open up the camera. It's not going to show on the screen because it's being stupid with me, but the cool thing is you can open that. Now here's the important thing. What does that mode exactly get you? I think that's a very interesting question. Is it just gets you access to the pictures taken in that last session? So what I mean is, you can't see any other pictures when I go this way. You can only get the pictures I've taken in the last session that I took pictures in. So I can't go back and see pictures from last night or 2 nights ago or anything like that. So when you hand your phone to somebody, you hand your phone to a stranger and say, take a picture of me, what you should be doing is going into that mode because it does not unlock your phone. So it's not like putting the code in on your phone. So when you hand your phone to somebody, what you're going to do is, if you have, most of us have iPhones, you just slide from the right to the left, and you'll get your camera opened automatically. Now that we have our camera open automatically, what I want you to do is I want everyone in this room to take a picture of me. There's a reason for this. And I'm going to show you some magic tricks. Watch how good I am. Ladies, were you here yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I was.
Okay, you were. Okay. I can tell you who wasn't here yesterday. My friend right there. You weren't here yesterday, were you?
No.
She wasn't. In the red jacket, you weren't here yesterday, were you?
No.
That's how I knew who was here yesterday, because here's the important thing. A lot of you in this room took the picture the wrong way. What do I mean? How many of you took the picture like this, up and down, as you would normally hold the phone? That is the wrong way to take a picture. I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to show you why before I go ahead and scold you. I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to take a picture this way, up and down. And I'll take a picture this way, sideways. Let's pay attention to these screens right here on the side of the, not the center screen. The screens on the side are very similar to screens you would have at home, on your computer, on your TV, on different things like that. When I take the picture up and down, do you see how much of the screen I fill up? When I take the picture sideways, do you see how much more of the screen I actually fill up? If you ever watch the news and you see videos of events and stuff like that, things that happen, the video is always a tiny little thing in the middle of the screen. This is the exact wrong way to take photos and videos with your device. What you need to do is to take photos and videos properly with your device, you need to hold the device sideways. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. As I showed the other day, I've got my water bottle. It is very difficult to take a picture of this water bottle sideways. So you do need to go up and down. But most of the time, you should be taking pictures sideways because you get double to triple the amount of information inside of your picture when you take it sideways. So you have a 12 megapixel camera, but when you take a picture this way, you're only getting about 6 megapixels. This way, you're getting 12 megapixels. Here's the important thing though. When you take this picture, not only does your camera need to be sideways, the physical camera needs to be at the top. So, Samsung people, I'll get to you in a minute, but the physical camera needs to be at the top of the device. Why that is, if you take a picture sideways like this, and you send it to somebody that doesn't have an iPhone, how does the picture show up? Upside down. Now, we've probably all gone edit, rotate 90 degrees, edit, rotate 90 degrees before, but have you ever done that to a video? This is the important thing. So when we take our pictures, we want to go sideways with the camera at the top. Now, some of you have Android phones which have a camera in the middle. If you have a camera in the middle, same theory, you want it sideways with the charging port on your right. So you want where you plug the phone in to be in your right hand. To give you that concept there, we want that charging port to be on our right. Now, when you have this camera open, what you'll notice is you have a little tiny button you have to press to take a picture. Wouldn't it be much nicer if you had an actual button you could press to take a picture? Well, you can press the volume button right on your device. When you have the camera open, your volume button will go ahead and take a picture, either volume up or volume down. It will work on an iPad. It will be slightly uncomfortable on an iPad. It's not going to be the most comfortable thing in the world. Also, a cool thing is, if you happen to have a pair of headphones that have a volume adjuster on it, you can actually use the volume adjuster on the headphones to go up and down and take pictures. So it's really cool. We can go in. If you hold it down, it's going to take a burst. If you hold it singular, it's going to take a single picture. What is the use of that? Does anybody know? So there is a fantastic website called peopleofwalmart.com. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's pictures of people wearing ridiculous things at Walmart. So when you go to Walmart and you see someone wearing something ridiculous, you pretend like you're on your phone. You press the volume button. Remember, there's no expectation of privacy at Walmart. You really shouldn't go out in public with what you're wearing at Walmart. But, and I take a picture, and I'm actually, when I'm home, I'm one of the top contributors to People of Walmart, the website, because I see some fantastic things in Walmart. I saw a lady that was wearing red, white, and blue striped pants in September for 4th of July. The problem was she had a large brown stripe down the back of her pants. I didn't really know the American flag had that in it, but what's really cool is you can use this to kind of take stealth pictures. So if you want to take stealth pictures, just make sure the flash isn't on, because then they'll know what's going on if the flash is on. So when we're taking pictures, here's the thing though. 99% of the time, we should be taking pictures this way. There is that 1% exception. The Eiffel Tower, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, different things like that. There's an exception to that. But generally, the way to take pictures is this way, with a 1% exception. Now, the next thing is video. If we go to video, though, what you'll notice is, unlike a picture, if you look at a photo, you'll notice this black, you see that black bar right there, where the camera button is? We have this black bar. This is not a part of our photo. But when we take a video, what's interesting is it is a part of our video. So where you can see through here, this is actually recording. So if you have someone inside that black bar that you don't want inside that black bar, you need to make sure they're actually out of the picture. So because a video fills the entire screen, a photo only fills a section of the screen. When you take a video, with zero exception, a video must always be taken sideways camera at the top or sideways charging port on the right for Android people. So sideways with the camera at the top must be taken a video, because one of the worst diseases on this world is something called vertical video syndrome. That's when people take videos like this, and then you get a little, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? If you watch the news, if you watch anything like that, you see all these eyewitness things, and you see a tiny little video in the middle of the screen. That's why it is. It's because people take videos like this. Now I'm going to show you an interesting app. If you have someone, my mom won't take pictures in the right way, or video in the right way, and she still has an AOL account. We'll get to that later. But here's a good app. This is one I usually mention in a later class, called Horizon. And what it does is it forces you to always take horizontal pictures. So you'll notice, even though I'm taking it up and down, is it filling the whole screen? Now when I do it the right way, what you'll notice is it actually zooms out and fills more of the screen. But it's actually going ahead and filling the whole screen. This is if you can't get someone, I'll tell you. Last year I was dating a girl on the ship, and she would not take pictures the right way, and we broke up. That's not a joke. I kept telling her, I'm like, you need to take pictures sideways with the camera at the top. She was an Android user, don't ask. Sideways, the camera on the right. I had a phase. She wouldn't do it. She said, you need to keep your work on the ship. And I said, sweetheart, there's certain things in life that are not acceptable. One of those things is taking a picture the wrong way. So I now only date photographers. So they know what's going on. So here's the really cool thing. So we've all probably taken photos and videos before, but there's actually special types of photos and special types of videos you can take on all of your devices. You've probably heard of a panoramic video, a slow motion video, a time-lapse video. I want to talk about what those are and different ways to take all of those different videos. So I want you to understand, video is, remember we take it sideways with the camera at the top. A slow motion video is a video, which means how do we take it always? Sideways, camera at the top. A time-lapse video is a video, so how do we take it always? Sideways, camera at the top. Have any of you ever taken a slow motion video before? So I have a couple slow motion videos to show you. One of them which was taken incorrectly. Where's my slow motion? This is me getting hit in the face with a snowball. Now to do this, you must take the video in slow motion, and it will automatically slow it down and go. that's me getting hit in the face with a snowball in slow motion. Here is me. I was doing a technical demo, so I was hitting my assistant in slow motion. I do realize I'm holding the camera incorrectly here, but I had to slap with one hand and hold the camera with the other hand. But when I took it right here, you can see I actually have... Whoa. Or another of my favorite slow motion is in Alaska at the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. This is falling off the log at the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, and boom. Yeah, there we go. So you must take it in a slow motion. You can't take a normal video in slow motion. You have to actually take the video in slow motion in order to do it, and it is a video. The other thing that's important, when you're taking a slow motion, you need to remember to keep the camera as still as possible, because your moves will be magnified dramatically. So if you're holding it handheld, I wouldn't take it handheld. I would just go ahead and, if you can lean against something and take the image when you're leaned against something, that will do you a lot better to do that. A great place to practice slow motion, if you want a good place to practice it, in the solarium. You know the fountains that are in the solarium? If you go up there during the day, you need enough light to do this, because slow motion requires a lot of light. You can actually take a slow motion and see the individual droplets of water coming in the fountains on the solarium on deck 12. So instead of the stream of water that you see with your eyes, because the refresh rate of your eyes is about 60 frames per second, the camera on the devices can see 240 frames per second, so you'll see the individual drops of water going over the side. Now, another special type of video you can take is called a time lapse. Have any of you ever taken a time lapse before? So this is a time lapse of me getting a shave in the spa. It is a 45-minute process that I am going to show you in 7 seconds. Done. What a time lapse does is it takes up something that would otherwise be boring and it speeds up the entire process. Now, this is my favorite time lapse I've ever taken. It's in Alaska in the Tracy Arm Fjord. And I want to explain to you how I took this time lapse. I took my phone and I mounted it on a little tripod. Now, there are big tripods, like this guy. This is a big tripod. That's got my light on it, and this bigger one that's got my camera on it. There's big tripods, and then there are smaller tripods. The smaller tripod I prefer to use is what's called a GorillaPod. I'm going to fast forward to the exciting part of this video. There we go. So what this is a 7-hour transit in and out of the Tracy Arm Fjord, and it's only 4 minutes long. So it's a 7-hour transit in and out of the Tracy Arm Fjord, and it's 4 minutes long, but I needed to hold my camera stable while I took it. So I used this guy. It's called a GorillaPod. It's a little tiny tripod, and you take your phone, you put it in there, camera at the top, you put it in there, and then you can wrap it around something. So you can wrap it around a railing, you can wrap it around different things. One of my favorite things about GorillaPods is they're little tripods. You can wrap them around, and one of the best secrets is the feet are magnetic. Well, that's not a secret, but the secret is almost every surface on a cruise ship is metal. So you can take this, and if you put this down on a table, it'll be extra secure because you've got the feet that are magnetic. Now, I won't do this with my phone, but if I were to take this little guy right here, and we're going to, there we go. I've got him magnetically right there. Well, when I realized that, I decided I didn't want to put my clothes all over the floor in my cabin because my cabin attendant started getting really angry. So I bought a whole bunch of neodymium magnets off of Amazon and put them in the back of all of my clothing. And when I get back to my cabin late at night, I throw my clothes against the wall. And my assistant comes, not my assistant, my cabin attendant comes in and he's like, what is wrong with this guy? But the good news is, they always know which clothes are mine in the laundry because they take everyone else's clothes out of the washing machine, and mine are still stuck to the drum. So mine are still stuck to the drum, and it's just like, but this is a full transit of the Tracy Arm Fjord. Brought down, there's about 1.5 minutes left in that video, just to give you a concept. Now, when you take a time-lapse video, your device needs to stay still. If you move around while you're taking a time lapse, it is not a time lapse, it's what's called a hyperlapse. And some people have hyper throw up when they watch a hyperlapse. So don't take a hyperlapse. So that's to give you that concept there. Now there's another few examples that I want to show you. I have one gadget I want to show you on my camera, but I'll show you that a bit later. There's another few examples I want to show you inside the camera app. Now, we've talked about slow-mo, we've talked about time-lapse, we've talked about photo, we've talked about video. But what I hopefully want to talk about in a second, let me go ahead and get this up on the screen, is I want to talk about pano. Have any of us taken a panoramic photo before? Now, when you take a pano, we are taking a sweeping image. Here's the problem with a pano. Watch the side screens for what I'm about to show you. Some of the things in the next 5-10 minutes or so, I'm going to say watch the side screens. The reason I'm going to say watch the side screens, this is a projected screen. You will not see the same, the side screens are going to look much more like what would be on my phone screen than what this is. So just to give you the concept. So when I'm taking a pano, if I were to take a normal picture, you see that that picture is sufficiently bright, right? On the side screens it's sufficiently bright. But if I go over and I go to pano, you'll see the image is much darker. A pano requires a significant amount of light to take because the normal pictures from your camera are 12 megapixels, but a pano is 42 megapixels. So a pano is 42 megapixels, and it needs more light to fill up all those pixels. Also, a pano, where was I going? Must be taken in the wrong direction. You have to take it up and down. So a pano has to be taken up and down, and what we do is we click the pano to start the pano, and then we just sweep in the direction of the line until it finishes there. Now there's a really cool pano trick you can do. Let me show you a cool pano trick. You're pretty mobile. Stand up for me for a second. Okay. I'm going to use him. Just stand right here. This is one of my favorite pano tricks that I love to show people. What you can do is you can take a picture and you can take a pano, go behind my back, walk to the other side of me. Stand over there. No, behind my back. Stand over there. I'll show you. This is a cool one. You can actually be in 2 places at once. So just like your wife always wished, there's now, thank you, there's now 2 of you. But once you get really skilled at that, you cannot be in 2 places at once, not be in 3 places at once, but actually be in 4 places at once. I'm going to see if I can show you this. This took a lot of skill to get this one done. It was at the airport beach in St. Martin. And just as my mom feared, I have multiplied 1, 2, 3, 4 of me. And how I did that is I would take the pano, as soon as the person would be out of the frame, I'd have them run around my back and get back into the frame, and then run around my back and get back in the frame, and then run around my back and get back in the frame. The most I've ever had was 8. I successfully did 8 of myself before. But I want to show you a visual demo of how you actually go about doing that. But panoramas are not meant for things like that. They're meant for things like, oh, that's fine. This is cool. This was on our transatlantic. This was the camera class in the theater on our transatlantic. On our transatlantic we filled, that looks like a main time show. That was this class in the theater on the transatlantic, which was really cool. But we can go in, and when we take panos, I'll show you another pretty pano. I can't show you that one. This is a pano taken from the front of the ship. I can show you that one. This is from the Icelandic Phallological Institute. Good. A few of you understood that. Those that didn't understand it, joke wasn't for you. Great place. Wouldn't want to go back. But, so you go ahead and you take a panorama. Now there's one more camera setting I want to talk about, which is called a square. And a square is just a square picture. That's all it is. It's just a square picture. Meaning it's 1 by 1. So it doesn't matter whether you take it this way, or this way, or this way, or this way. Well, what's the purpose of a square picture? Passport photos, yeah, technically. Okay, you got that right. You don't have to pay someone $12 to take your passport photos anymore. You just go, selfie. Done. Passport photo done. You even have the grid that shows you how to lay out the passport photo. There's a lot of passport photo apps as well that'll let you do your passport photos. But yes, technically you can use those for passport photos. But generally they're meant for Instagram and profile images on Facebook. Because you'll notice whenever you want to put a profile image on different things, they're usually a square profile image. And it makes you crop it down to a square. But if you take it as a square, you've got what you need. Now, on my phone, I have a different thing than most other people do. The single best camera on a smartphone in the world right now, hands down, overall, is the iPhone 7 Plus. Now I have the Samsung Galaxy S8. It is better in low light. So in low light, the Samsung Galaxy S8 is better than the iPhone 7 Plus, but the iPhone 7 Plus has a very cool feature called portrait mode. I want to show you this. And I think I have enough light. So if we normally take a picture, if I take this picture right here, you'll see that everyone's in focus. You see the people in the background are in focus, she's in focus, everyone's in focus. The iPhone 7 Plus actually uses something called portrait mode. Let me get it to, and it blurs out the background. It focuses on her. Let me go to the blurred one. So you see it focuses on her and it blurs the background. That one, the background's not blurred. You can see those people very clearly. But this one is focusing on her and blurring the background. It's using two lenses. It's much better to look at the side screens because the middle screen will show it as well. It's using two lenses to actually merge the pictures together. This is something that's difficult to do on a $1,000 camera. And this is something that Apple's actually figured out how to do right on the phone. I love the portrait mode. I take portrait photos all the time. Let's see if I can find another one so I can show you. I have a lot of depth effect. Here we go. So I had a couple that was on last cruise that said, take a picture of me and my husband together. That looks like a pretty professionally taken shot. That was just taken in my office. I pulled back the curtains. I took the big ball that was behind in the grand foyer and I took the picture. They charge you $24.95 for that picture. I took it for free. Just to give you a concept, it's really quite cool. You can get all kinds of different depth effects with things as well. This is a Mother's Day cake. And you see it's gone ahead and it's blurred out the entire background. It's very, very cool. But this tech can only be done on the 7 Plus because the 7 Plus has two camera lenses. So it has two camera lenses. And just one more thing those camera lenses can actually do, and then we'll move on, is you can actually zoom. And it is optical zoom, meaning this zoom is the same quality as this zoom. So you have zoom in a smartphone, which is something that I had not seen before. But something that a lot of our phones have, I don't think many of us have iPads that have them in it, is a flash. Correct in that assumption? We've got a flash. Now here's the question, what is the purpose of the flash? To find things under the bed. Yes. When you have dropped your SD card under the bed, you turn on the flash. Okay, where's the SD card? No, here's the thing. For most of the time, we should not use the flash on our device. There's really no reason to use the flash most of the time because it's absolutely going to destroy our photograph. Take, for example, this picture. Which of these two images looks more natural? The flash generally destroys photographs. If you can, avoid the flash, but I want to show you one scenario that you never thought of where the flash becomes very, very, very useful. So I'm going to take that same picture, but I'm going to add another variable. What I'm going to add behind him is I'm going to add the sun. You're just going to hold that right there, right behind his head. We've probably all taken pictures like this before. Am I correct in that assumption? And if you take that picture, what happens to his face? There's nothing. If I use the flash and I turn the flash on, I will get something called a fill flash. Do you see the difference there? So if you've got someone backlit, what's really cool is you can actually use the flash to front light a backlit person and fix that backlit person, which is a really cool trick. Now the thing is, the flash on most of our devices has 3 modes. It has on, off, and auto. But I want you to pretend it only has 2. It has on or off. We don't want the machines thinking for us. That's how we get Terminator. Bad idea. So we should always have the flash on or off. Generally off because when you go to Walmart, you don't want that flash going off. You don't need them to know you're posting the picture. Some of you are going to go check out that website. Trust me, it's definitely worth the look. But if you go, you want to make sure that you have your flash always set to off, except when you need to set it to on, you will set it to on manually. Well, if I'm saying don't use the flash, how do you make an image brighter? How do you make an image brighter? How do you make an image darker? I'm looking for someone wearing a certain type of clothing. Let me see if I can find it. Can you do that? Yeah, with a red sweater on your pants? I need to just use, just move the red, there we go. Let me see if it works. Okay, perfect. So you see my friend sitting right here. She's pretty dark, right? what I can do is if I click on the dark top, it will make the image brighter. Okay, watch. Watch the side screens. They're backlit, not projected. If I click on her dark shirt, it makes the entire image lighter. You see that? The image got lighter. If I click on her light pants, it makes the entire image darker. So if you click on something dark, it makes the whole image lighter. If you click on something light, it makes the whole image darker. Now, the cool thing is, you can do that manually, or you can do that automatically. Now, to do that manually, I'm tapping around. Remember, if you want it lighter, choose something dark. If you want it darker, choose something light. But there's a way to do it automatically called Herder. Herder. Nobody watches Game of Thrones. Hold the door. Now, HDR, which stands for what? Okay, who said density? You're wrong. High definition? You're wrong. Anybody else? Anybody know what the D stands for?
Density.
That's not density.
Definition.
Not definition.
Darkness.
Darkness, no. It's weird. Nobody's got it in the whole room?
Digital.
It stands for dynamic. High dynamic range is the name of what HDR stands for. And what it's doing is it's taking two pictures, one with the white pants and one with the dark top, blending them together and making a single picture, which is what's really cool. The option for HDR, if you have it, is to set it to auto. Now, just for fun, with another, I like, what do they call it, acronyms. I like acronyms. Do any of you know what DVD stands for? If you didn't get HDR, we're not going to get DVD. Can you guess? DVD? Digital? It's not video.
Virtual.
Virtual? No, it's close.
Visual.
No, versatile. Okay. Digital versatile disc. That's going to win someone Jeopardy one day, so I like to put that out there. That'll be like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire question. They don't play that show anymore, huh? Some of those questions like that. So, you want to, if you can, turn HDR onto auto. So we turn HDR on auto, and we're going to get automatically HDR photos. Herein lies the question. I've shown you how to take a lot of photos, how to do a lot of different things like that, but herein lies a very interesting question. So you've taken hundreds of thousands of photos, let's say thousands of photos on your phone or your tablet. Am I correct in that assumption? And here's the thing. I know the ladies in the front just got new iPads. Were you the one that got the new iPads the other day, or no? Someone else. So they just got new iPads. They got new iPads yesterday. I know. My assistant posted it's an iPad Pro party. They were like, what, the two of you, three of you? There were three of you. I know. Yeah, he posted on Facebook. He's like, it's an iPad Pro party. Here's the problem, though. You get a new device, you open it up, and everything's there except for your pictures. Your pictures are not there. So I want to introduce you to something. This is something we talked about yesterday, but I want to talk about it a little more today. And I actually want to show you the TV commercial for it, for an application called Google Photos.
Your phone has been there for you. It's seen your best side and your worst days. It's there for you in the mornings, and it's the last thing you see at night. You go everywhere together. Everywhere. You've even saved its life. It's your loved ones, your love notes, and your memories. It's been there through it all, in the palm of your hand. But forget that old piece of garbage, because you just got a brand new phone, and it is glorious. It's got everything except your photos. So check the Google Photos app, and all the photos on your old phone will be waiting for you on your new phone automatically. It's a holiday miracle. Happy holidays from Google Photos.
So I think what's really cool is I don't think anybody in this room can tell me, well, other than if you were here in previous cruises and you know about this, can tell me they feel safe that all of their photos and videos on their device are backed up. Some of you are going to say, oh, they're backed up in the iCloud. Do you think they're backed up in the iCloud?
No.
So here's the important thing about iCloud. In order to back up to the iCloud, I'm just telling you facts here. And the great thing is I don't work for Apple, I work for Royal Caribbean, so I can tell you the truth about all kinds of things. In order to back up to the iCloud, your device must be plugged in with the screen off and connected to Wi-Fi. There's got to be a lot of variables put into place. Also, iCloud won't clean up the storage on your device automatically. there is a fantastic application I want to talk to you about for a few minutes called Google Photos. And what that does is it backs up all of your pictures and all of your videos across all of your devices, unlimited for free. And the important thing about Google Photos is it reduces what's called your switching cost. Switching cost is not a monetary thing. I like to break this down because one of the biggest things in the tech industry is switching costs. A lot of you are Captain's Club members. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yeah.
You will not sail with another cruise line due to all of your points you have on Celebrity. That's what's called a switching cost. A lot of us won't move from iPhones and iPads because we have everything in iCloud. And that works across all of our Apple devices. What makes Google Photos different is it works across everything. So I have the same photos on my iPhone, on my Windows computer, on my Mac computer, on my Android phone, across all of my devices, and I can also, we're going to talk about this a little bit more in depth in the cloud class later on the cruise, I can also use Google Photos to clean up the storage space on my phone. So if I wanted to clean up the storage space on my phone, I can free up the storage space on my phone. It's a little too soon because it's still backing some stuff up. But what you'll see is these pictures I just took during the class, it's backing those up right now as we talk. And in the next 30 seconds or so, all of my pictures will be backed up to the cloud for free. And not only that, I can take those pictures and I can search them. So I can go to the website for Google Photos, which is photos.google.com, which I will show you right now. And I have access, give me just a second, I'm just connecting up to the screen. Come on, screen. My laptop is very angry at me. It's called photos.google.com, and what I can do is I can look through all of my photos. I said this the other day, my favorite port on this entire trip is Estonia. Well, my favorite port in the whole wide world is Estonia. And I just found out when I'm leaving the ship, I was supposed to leave on the 20th. I'm leaving on the 23rd. I'm going to stay in I'm going to fly from Estonia, and I've already contacted the airline. I said, can you move my flight 5 days? So I'm going to get to stay in Estonia. That's actually a cool thing. But I can go in and I can just type in Estonia. And something just not to miss in Estonia, I like to tell people this, it is something that we do offer as a tour on board, but you can go as well on your own. It's a little more difficult to go on your own. It's a place called Ode Hansa. Have you ever heard of it? It is my favorite restaurant in the whole wide world. It is in an old castle that's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And this is Ode Hansa. And they serve authentic medieval food, including mead and different things like that. And the restaurant does not have electricity inside of it. And I don't know if I have a picture of the urinals or not. Hold up. It's got to be here. Where's the urinals? That sounds crazy, but they have some of the best urinals ever. I don't think I have a picture of the urinals, but like this is the inside of it. It's like a medieval tent. There's like 7 different entrances. It's something you must do if you're going to Estonia. But I can go in, I can type in, I don't have the toilets. Oh, that makes me sad. Oh, there's the toilet. Let's let that clear up. That is the urinal in the restaurant, just to show you. And you have to take a pot of water and put it in the urinal when you're done to finish the job. And they have an inside outhouse as well. That's the normal toilet. It's authentic. But I love it. But the cool thing is, I just typed in Estonia, and I found those pictures. Another place where, in June 1st, which is my birthday, we're going to be in Copenhagen. And I love Copenhagen as well. And my favorite thing in Copenhagen, we can type in Tivoligardenes, Tivoli Gardens, and Google Photos will automatically find my pictures in Tivoli Gardens. Here's the cool thing. At no point did I ever tell it those pictures were in Tivoli Gardens. Not only can I type in Tivoli Gardens, I can type in Tivoli Gardens food. And it's just going to find pictures. I think there's going to be food in Tivoli Gardens. It's just going to, there we go. There's pictures of all the food I've ever, oh God. I'm looking so forward. If you see me in Tivoli Gardens on June 1st, you could say happy birthday. That's my birthday. So I'm turning 29 for the second time. So that is really cool. It's called Google Photos. It backs up all of your pictures, all of your videos, unlimited for free. which is what's very, very cool. Now, I want to let you know what we have coming up the rest of the cruise. So we do have like 5 or 6 port days in a row coming up. So we're not going to be doing anything because you're all going to be off on tour in ports and different things like that. I like to tell people, if you don't have anything scheduled to do in port, or you're just going out on your own, please come talk to me, because I know all these ports. I've done this itinerary for 6 years. I know what to do. That's really cool. I'm not shore excursions. I have nothing to do with them, but I just like to tell you what I like to do. But after Russia, on the sea day coming back, we're going to be talking all about apps. Different apps that are available to do different things. We're going to talk about all about apps, including some apps that have photo stuff to do with them. I'll give you an example of one of those. Imagine if you could take a picture of something and it would tell you what that picture is of, which is what's really cool. There's a new feature that was just added to the app called Pinterest. And what I can do in this app is now I just got this last night, is I can take a picture of something and it will tell me what that is a picture of. So it actually sends that picture up to the cloud. Let me see if I can here we go. And I can search things by photos. Let's see what we've got. Okay. I'm just going to use your iPad. And it's going to take that photo. It's going to send that to the cloud, and it's going to figure out exactly what that's a photo of. It's at a really weird angle, but it's actually going to analyze, and it's going to figure out exactly what that is a photo of in a couple seconds' time. I might show you this on the next day. But I wanted to mention one last thing, because a lot of people go, "Hey, Rich, do you have notes for these classes or anything like that?" And the answer is no, because that's paper. That wastes trees and things like that. But you see this little guy sitting right in the middle? That is actually a camera that goes up to my website. And everything we do, I'll give you the website, everything we do is available on the website for free. So everything we have is available on the website for free. The name of the website, I'll pull it up on the screen real quick. It's called iLearnReview.com. That's the good one. That's my good logo. iLearnReview.com, and all of the stuff goes up on that website. And I'll just show you, since we're talking about cameras, the last thing I want to show you today is I do want to show you that little camera and exactly how it actually works, because it's very, very cool. And this is the last video I want to show you today. When I got the camera, I was testing it out, and you're going to see my old assistant. Show the camera. This is me checking the camera.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2.
What the camera does is it automatically follows me. So that's what I'm waiting for. And this is a video coming from that. So I can have a cameraman without needing a
1, 2,
cameraman. And it tracks faces, and you're about to see why my assistant's no longer with me.
1, 2, 3. This side. Check. This side. Perfect. So it's
I did not realize what was going on.
And back towards the middle. Full shot. Zoom in. Oh,
He just
Ron,
went
it's
home
got
for,
you.
he just
Good
went home
job.
for the rest of his life. No, I didn't fire him. I actually found it absolutely hysterical. But we're going to meet back in here at 1 o'clock each of the remaining sea days. We've got apps, we've got the cloud, and we've got one of the most important things. I mentioned this yesterday. Do any of you in this room have AOL or Yahoo accounts?
Yes.
Yeah. They will be shutting down effective June 8th.
What were the 4 companies you said would go?
Yes, AOL and Yahoo will be shutting down effective June 8th. So, yeah, it's been bought by the American cell phone company. I'll give you the 4 companies again. I know your question. It's been bought by the American cell phone company Verizon, who's going to turn it into a new company called Oath.com. Now, whether they actually go under on June 8th or not is another question, but they are changing their terms and conditions to the fact that they have the rights to delete your account at any time without warning you, any way, shape, or form, and you lose all your information and you have no legal rights against them. Sounds like a pretty good reason to leave, doesn't it? So they're saying if you don't leave now. So the last class we do on June 3rd at 1 o'clock is going to be on creating a Gmail account. And I said the other day, you were asking, there's only 4 tech companies that are going to be around in a couple years. You got Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and Google. Everybody else in the consumer space, those are going to be the ones that are going to be around. Microsoft will still exist in a business perspective. HP will still exist in a business perspective, but they're not really going to exist in the consumer space anymore. We're going to talk about that a lot more, but we're going to talk about, number 1, how to set up a Gmail and how to move all your stuff over to Gmail before the phone company Verizon just goes ahead and says, delete. We don't want to have that anymore. So that's going to be on June 3rd. We're going to see that. We got a lot of different stuff coming up. Check your daily program. That's it for now. My name's Richard. Bye.